What's up, people? We back with a special edition of Aiight So Boom. This is a good one. We're super excited. We're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get right into it. We have a very special guest. This guy, to me, is one of the best lyricists on the planet, bar none. There aren't too many people messing with him, and he's also, a nerd like us.
No doubt.
You can be both. Come on, guys, get with it. He has a brand new project out, and he has some special things going on with his brand new single.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop. I'm nerding out. I'm super happy to have this guy here. Mark, you introduce this man.
Man, this is a Queens MC. This gentleman has released monumental classics throughout the years and has inspired MCs throughout the decades, myself included. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. He has a group. We're going to get to all that, but this man stands alone right now. His name is Pharoahe Monch. Yo, make some noise, make some noise. Make some noise. You can see by his collection right behind him, he is a true nerd, which is why he is on Aiight So Boom. And we're just happy to have you, man. How you feel today?
I'm good, man. I got up early, hit the gym a little bit.
Okay.
And just made it back to the crib on time to come down here, put some new pieces up, and I'm ready. Ready.
So what are the new pieces that you got? By the way, a very good show that I love by a good friend of mine, Destroy. You were on Show Off Your Gyms, right? And you showed off your gyms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I just got this Thor and this Loki and this Iron Man. That's a part of build a figure,
right?
A set. So that whole wave. So I'm trying to, build a figure that comes with that wave. So
nice.
I rearranged the top row just for this interview.
Nice.
That's awesome, bro. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got a gem to show you real quick. Let me see if you remember this. This is a poster from a show that me, my partner GMS, one of my other partners, Pumpkinhead PH, and Mike Hands threw. This was the 20th year anniversary of Stress Extinction Agenda album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man.
Do you remember that show?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Incredible, man. Prince Paul is freezing cold that day in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But people came out, man, and that alone was it's crazy. When I say freezing cold, it was like sub-zero.
Yeah, it was cold.
In an ill part of Brooklyn that's crazy hard to get to, but people made it out. People came from Connecticut. People came from all over, and it was dope, man. And when I see that album cover and I think about the group, I think about that show. I believe that was our last show in New York.
Mm.
And so, because of that, it always reminds me of PH.
Yeah.
And I get all sentimental and shit.
For sure.
So yeah, man, that was dope.
And on this poster, you signed it for me, and it says "Peace and Love, Blitz," and it's signed 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly,
dope segue.
13 has been an alias of yours for a long time. Agent 13, 13, most people's unlucky number, but for you, it's something different, and you have a new group, and it is called 13.
13.
So tell me a little bit about the formation of this new, really super group.
I think overall the musical plane is not a departure from what I normally do. It's social, political, it's personal, it's kind of out there, Afro futuristic, if you want to call it. But I wanted to put an edge on it, and I've been always fiending to do the rock side of my background. Grew up listening to a lot of rock shit and fan of a lot of different rock bands.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to put an extra hardness and edge on kind of traditionally what I do on the dark side or the hard side of my music. And so I also knew that I didn't want it to come off like studio musicians or some cats I was just playing with at the time. So before I approached Marcus Machado and Daru Jones, I was like, yo, can we do this as a collab, you know, in a group so that it'll have that feel. And so having that in mind, a lot of the songs and the way that I approach them was approached to do in a live fashion. I
Mhm.
was always thinking, oh, once we hit the stage, this is, you know, I'm gonna be able to, you know, take it there and raise the energy level a little bit because these
Yeah.
dudes are assassins in their own right. And then we got hit with the pandemic. So if you listen to the album, you can hear that the choruses are kind of constructed
For
for
stage
crowd
energy.
for
Yeah.
stage energy and crowd participation.
Yeah.
And you know, that's that a whole pandemic thing threw a wrench in how I wanted to present this. But God is good, and we've been able to do a lot of in studio work and a lot of visuals. I just posted the Tiny Desk
Yeah.
performance to where we're rocking out, and you know, it resonated with people. So a lot of the comments from the album on YouTube and on IG is, I can't wait to see y'all live.
Picture the past of this past, the bad fatal massacre, smashed their askets and harassed and chastised for bad. Wolf and laughed at him, they flashed at his ass against the squlockins and they captured him away. He was never respected him and he never played soccer, he never matched a master class. So they teased and they locked him, the fucking bags and they whipped his ass and he reads and they robbed him behind the school and he was late for a day. But the masquerade is over now.
So
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the project. We knew it was going to be a marathon. It was released in January with the intent to run this shit for like a whole year.
Yeah.
So we're going to be shooting visuals and treating it that way because the way, you know, we roll an album out now, you know, you'll see one of your favorite artists, they'll put out an album and then a week or two later it's like, the fuck happened, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Did it get lost in a mix, or you know, nobody's talking about it anymore? And so under that thinking, you know, before we released, I was like, you know, how could we stretch this out and treat it old school and do a couple more singles than people are doing now and a couple more visuals than people are used to, and you know, treat it like a marathon
For sure.
because you never know, you know, when something will catch,
Yeah.
you know, like that's just how it is. Like and also, I know I'm rambling, please forgive me. When we released, uh you know, the algorithms on YouTube and IG got changed.
Yeah.
So I noticed like last year, you know, I would post something, a response, and the engagement was different. And then it seemed as if it was like, we want you to pay for your engagement,
Yeah.
and we want you to pay if you're promoting something. So, you know, just last week I posted something and I was like, you know, shit ball, whatever fuckery that
Hmm.
I posted, and it responded.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, I'm putting this new thing out, and Rolling Stone covered it, and it's coming out tomorrow. And that shit was like one,
Right.
two. I'm like, what are they purposely like
Yeah.
screwing up my you know?
It's
Yeah.
like
So
once you're promoting something real that has
mhm,
a monetary value behind it, it's like they suppress it,
mhm,
right? Because
right,
they want you to give them something in order for them to open the floodgates and let that stuff through.
right.
Yeah.
So that's I get it, but it's like you know, the independent guys who flourished in this space and brought this space to where it is now, uh, to make it pop. You know, we're getting suppressed again, just
Yeah.
like hip hop and music did back in the days. Not playing it on the radio,
Right.
You squeezing me in this space
Yeah.
too. And that's kind of the go ahead, I'm sorry.
We can't even be outside to get on stage and promote it the old fashioned way where we're like we're on with a show or anything like that. So
Exactly. So that's the internet and the algorithm is part of the exorcism that needs to happen
yeah.
as well. So
Um,
it all makes sense.
you actually segued that. A magnificent day for an exorcism. Any project that a black artist is releasing in this day and age, kind of I feel has to reflect 2020. In some sort of way or fashion. When I think of an exorcism, I think of kind of a new beginning. What kind of themes were you thinking about when you thought of that title specifically? Like what meaning does it have, or if any?
Yeah, it is. It's a new beginning. It's a birth actually, and politically and socially in America, it's like we can't even begin to have the conversation of how we ascend and how like-minded interconnected people could get together and finally like evolve until we discuss the thing that's been polarizing the hate or the evil in the country as well. So in order to atone, I just felt like you got to have that discussion,
Yeah.
and you got to shine the light on the real shit of why the energy is so bad.
Yeah.
I always say, like, when I was a kid and I was thinking about 2020, 2021, I just felt like energetically we would be in a evolved space. Even as a young kid, watching the Jetsons or whatever, it's like,
Right.
that's where we could be.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't just a tech technology thing. It was a vibe. Like you watch Star Trek and the episode where they had Abraham Lincoln on there and he's talking about slavery and the people, on the deck are like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like it's a thing from so far ago. It's not even in the conscious,
Right.
and anymore. And so, as a nerd kid, when I look towards the future, I'm like, are we going to be on some other type of different astral projection, floating on hovercrafts and building and philosophy?
Yeah.
And we get here and we're here, and it just feels very unnatural for me. So, I just felt like if you're still trying to keep us in the dark spaces and the dark ages with that mentality, musically, let me hit you with something equally, because I know a lot of times it's like shine the light on the dark, kumbaya, pray. This album is kind of like fuck that, hold this voodoo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with some shit that you've been hitting us with
Right.
on some bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kill, kill, kill.
Exactly.
Yeah. The visuals that you've hit us with so far for this project have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
How did you go about doing different things for each video? Even the lyric video for what's the name of the song right now?
Palindrome.
Palindrome.
One of the best lyric videos I've ever seen.
No, hold on a second. One of the best lyrically written songs.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, thank you.
I mean, the amount of conscience and time it I don't know how much time it took you because you're Pharaoh. But and by the way, every time I have to write your name, it happens more often than you think, right? I have to because it's spelled differently. I have to do the lyric. Give me a PH, give me the AR, give me the OA, give me the HE Pharaoh. I have to do it. It happens every time I got to write your rhyme, your name in my head. But making palindrome, right?
Right.
A great the best use of a lyric video I've ever seen.
Yes.
But tell me about constructing that song and then transitioning it into the video.
Well, I got the beat from Knots.
Shout out to Nuts.
Yeah. and he had the intro on it from the battle rap scene. I forgot old boy's name. Oh my god. And he says, isn't it evil to live backwards, as he's introing the song.
Mm-hmm.
And he flipped evil and live, and it's a live battle, and he's like, isn't it evil to live backwards? And the crowd catches it, and they're like, oh, they catch the line.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's stay in that vibe, take it to another level, and do, instead of flipping words, do palindromes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the idea came from. And once I started researching, I knew some of them, like race car, etc. Once I started researching them, I just started putting the lines together as I was researching the palindromes and doing more complicated ones, like, smoke you like a cigar and all that shit,
Yeah.
Listen, we know Pharoahe's work, right? We know Pharoahe's work. The lyric video stood out to me. Whoever did that lyric video, that person stood out to me because I don't know who this person is, but in order to encapsulate the lyrical content, the punchlines, and be able to form that on a graphic level, brilliantly done. So whoever you're working with, and we can tell this, and this is something we were talking about, your art direction is very specific, down to the 13 logo, the animated, the 3, the stabbing. It's very purposeful. So curious. How did you find that? How did that happen?
All that work is a guy named Olise, and he's the guy online that kind of do the album covers for all of the artists, where you see the animation on the album covers. I've been working with him for a long time.
Okay.
Which was insane that I found him again, because when I was writing Palindrome, I was saying to my manager at the time, this is a song you need to see. If you're not looking at it, you're not going to get it. Like, I wouldn't get it. Like, I don't even listen. I don't even know if I listen that deeply anymore. And so just me saying this is a song you need to see was bugged to me. I was like, that's pretty dope, So I knew that when I was writing it, that I wanted those things to happen. Like, the electric company of Sesame Street, you say the palindrome and it comes together like that bomb. So I wrote it to be seen, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had that in mind when I was writing, and I was like, no one's going to get this unless you show them what you're doing with the words, which is really cool. Yeah.
You talked about the visuals of it, and we're going to get into some more great visuals of your brand new single. But you draw as well, right?
Yeah, I'm an artist. Went to High School of Art and Design. Shout out to Prince Poe. Shout out to Prodigy. R.I.P. Shout out to Kwame.
PH.
Shout out to yeah. Come on, man. It's like, and so just being around, it tells you something about environment. Just being around like-minded individuals who were, open-minded and are pushing the envelope in the hip hop area and in the art space, and then, and with the hip hop, in those stages, that's what it was about. It was about you would see somebody pop lock or a boogie or get in a circle and do a dance move. It would inspire the cipher.
Yeah.
Whether you was a poet, a writer, graffiti, black book, whatever. If you see something that made the crowd go, ooh, like, you would be like, damn, I have to get better, or I'm inspired. I'm inspired to draw. I'm inspired to come up with something new. And I started to notice that in that school, like, art is very broad. It's not just on a piece of paper. It's books, it's literary, it's poetry, it's visuals, it's film, it's whatever. So it broadened, this is what the school was supposed to do. It broadened me and my inspiration. And that's when I was like, I think I could express myself in hip hop better than I can,
Yeah.
in this black book or drawing?
I do graphic design as well. I've done
Mm.
a ton of different album covers and logos for a bunch of people and stuff. But on two things. The first thing is I always found that as MCs, right? Most MCs have another artistic talent besides being an MC, right? Like they either they draw or they do some type of graphic design. It's that left lobe thing where
Analytical,
if
over analytical.
if you have an artistic talent, you're not pigeonholed into having one artistic talent. It's usually you have multiple. But another thing, and you had alluded to this in a tweet that you had put up, so many MCs are into the things that we're into, right? The comic books, and the movies, the nerd shit, right? So I wanted to ask you, what is it about that connection of the fantastical and MCing that you think meld so well together, or why do MCs have that in their background, gravitate towards that?
I think it's synonymous because rappers were always trying to either overcome or boast.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into simple comic book language, it's like, I am the mighty Thor, I am the this, I am the that, or this is my power. This is also what makes me unique.
Yeah.
This is also what my drawbacks are, and what holds me back. So it's that kind of reality that we were relating to inside the comic book world, that as early back as you could go, Cash was like, I could leap a tall building, and ha ha ha, I could do with this,
Jimmy Spicer,
it was
super
that,
rhymes, right?
exactly. So it's like, how can you be fantastical in that? Even to this day, like the illest drug bars is still elaborated upon.
Yeah.
To it's nonsensical, and it's like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
So we still, we still do it to this day in a way where it's not like, you have to have lived this thing to rap about this thing, because exaggeration is a part of hip hop from the beginning. Yeah.
So we're here with the man, the legend, Pharoahe Monch, also representing the group 13 with my man Daru Jones and Marcus Machado. Now, what we want to get into, because this is Aiight So Boom, right? We get really nerdy, right? We get so nerdy that we had to create this show to get it out of our system.
For sure.
Your project is the quintessential hip hop comic book fan's dream, right? Someone who's super lyrical, right? Because we're over analytical, so we love that. But you have created a comic book, a full project, to kind of represent some of the themes in your music. Now, if I'm a hip hop fan, I'm a comic book fan, please give me a little breakdown to what inspired you to do it, how did it happen? Like, give me that little nugget of what brought this comic book to life.
I mean, going back to art and design, and just being the kid who was the teacher's artist in grade school, this is a dream come true for me, man. It really is. Like, to have a song and a video that's animated is something that I always wanted to do. And I was blessed to meet this guy. I feel like it was divine intervention that I met Joe. Joe Reed is the animator. I wrote the story. I wrote the story in my phone and was sending it to people like, yo, what do you think about this? Three kids, they're in the forest and they break away, and these birdmen come,
right,
and the birdmen chase them. And I sent it to him, and I sent it to him with like photographs of the beaks and how I wanted the shit. Right.
Yeah.
And he flipped it, man. He would send me like like this, what do you think about this? And everything he sent, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly how I want it. And like the little like black and white like still shots and like minimalist way that he did some of the animation is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
So it could feel like part of the struggle of these kids when you're actually watching the art. Some of it looks elaborate, but a lot of it looks like it came from an independent animation film house, which is how I wanted it to feel.
It's
So you could, right? I'm sorry.
no, it's really amazing the way it was done. Even the flow of the animation. I get in watching it, I got an Akira vibe, from the the black and white and grittiness of it.
And on some anime, Japanimation, Akira is a big influence. Saw it in the movies.
Yeah.
So and so if you're from that world, you're thinking that way, and you're like, man, I wonder if I'll ever be able to do something like that. But because of technology, Joe is from UK. I was able to reach out to him and get the shit done. It didn't take a very, very long time to do. We kept tweaking it to get it right. He's amazing because along to my story that I wrote, he was like, yo, how about, they become the thing that they despise, which would be an interesting ending to this all.
Yeah.
And, we wrote it and I was like, yo, this is crazy because I didn't see that coming. I know people are not going to see that coming.
Yeah.
That they would turn into, the oppressed.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Gotta put it
so what's fly about it is in the continuation or part 2, if you notice, once they turn, they're walking back towards the city. And so I want to flip the rest of the script and possibly carry this on.
Nice.
As to what happens after.
So
you heard it here first. Aiight So Boom.
So from this album, should we expect the continuation of this particular storyline on this one?
No. The Kill is that's it from the animation.
Got it.
But if I come up with a song that fits where I'm thinking I want to go with the continuation of the story, then I'll put the continuation to that. So it's an interesting, it's risky, and that's what I like about experimenting. It puts you in a position to experiment and do things that you're not comfortable with. And I think people could feel that because it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy. It's comfortable to do what you're known for or to do what's popular or to whatever. But this stuff is kind of out of the box.
Yeah.
I've never done an animated video before, so it's kind of in the vibe, it's the weirdest song on the album. I say weird in a good way. Like it's the one song that I'm really kind of not rapping on. I'm singing on a lot of stuff, but it's kind of like more of a rage vibe than a bars vibe.
So you were able to do something else with this song, Kill, 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 and the video that was really forward thinking. You developed an NFT.
Yeah.
Which, if people don't know, non-fungible token that you can buy and sell and trade and collect. Why don't you give us a little bit more information on your NFT, where people can purchase the NFT, and what made you want to get into this space in terms of adding it as something else with the album in the package.
Again, we were thinking that all along as those things were coming out. We were like, we have the assets and the tools already to do something fly.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, we got to do an NFT for this. And, the thinking is, if you're going to go into the art space, try to be as artsy as you are outside the space. Try to be that way inside the space, as if, you know, someone saying they want to get into hip hop per se, and you're like, okay, go ahead, what do you got? And they're like, I said a hip hop. You're like, okay. NFT space, same thing. I'm like, was trying to jump in with something cool and not just like, here's a picture of my thumb, making an NFT out of it, Pharoahe Monch.
Right.
So we took pieces of the animation, we made these kind of like cards with the QR codes and other cool things with it, along with the physical comic book, along with the digital comic book, along with the video. Just trying to give people more.
Yeah.
So we can run with more things, maybe the comic book might pop, years down the line.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
And so you could come back to things and just try to be broader with it than, here's my new song, and again, from the outset, the thinking was, how do you strip away the pretentiousness that comes along with the art that you're seeing? My thinking visually was, I don't want to be rapping to camera in most of these visuals because I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing it for 30 years now. So I know I'm me, but me to me in the camera is like anybody else in the camera. What makes you unmute something or stay on something longer than 15 seconds?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to pull away from me and make it about the music and make it about the band. We can always get to me live or get to me in a visual or get to the band in these visuals. But the visuals and the mask that we're wearing is about, let's strip away the pretentiousness of the chains and what is his fashion and all that shit,
Yeah. How did those come about? And like, I was like, man, he had to get those made or something. Like, those are special. With, you guys in the car, and I was just wondering where that came from.
So I'm always taking a long time in between projects. One is to live life and to have some real concepts to write about. But in this particular moment, I had this time and I was utilizing the time to come up with ideas. So I came across these masks and I was like, oh, I want masks for the band. And this dude does these like handmade masks. As you can see, they're very detailed.
Yeah.
He designs masks for Hollywood. They're like burlap, crazy.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
I found them. Right. I found them and I was like, how long is it going to take me to get these shits done? And, I've been working on this album, or I thought about this album for like at least 10 years ago.
Wow.
I worked on it for like 4 or 5 years in concept. And then once I got with the guys, it took, 2 years to do. Not consistently working on it, but, like Daru is over here, Marcus is over there. I'm still touring. I'm still doing other things. Oh, can we get together and do this? Let's put the pieces together. And so even when it was done, technically, I was still like, I want to get these, I'm waiting to get these masks. Everything's got to be right because it's all about the presentation. You know what I mean? So the mask is a designer out of Canada, and that shit took like 6 months to have the mask made.
It looks like it, man. Those things are special. I really like them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, I know that fans appreciate, and as a fan, I appreciate how much you were involved in these projects. You never really know how much input the artist has on the final project. I know I'm curious, and how, especially with the animated work and the comic book, as I was flipping
Oh,
through,
look at
going through
what we have here. Oh.
oh goodness,
Oh.
he's showing off artwork.
If you see, he got the metal on this one. It's like uh, it's kind of like pulling it all together.
Uh-huh.
So if you can see that, that's pretty crazy.
And
And then he
who made all
made
that?
this designer out of Canada. I forget his name, and he made them so that we could breathe on stage if we ever wanna wear them on stage.
It's
It's pretty
nuts.
ill. Yeah.
Nuts. I got a couple. I know you got other things to do. I got a couple like crazy like lightning round questions. But if you have anything else that's like
No, I just want to make sure everybody knows,
Yeah.
the magnificent, we have Kill, Kill, Kill. That's the single. We want to make sure that, you pick up this project, the whole NFT package. Don't be mad when other artists start doing it, but you see Pharoahe Monch 13 is doing it now.
Yeah.
So don't, definitely pick that up. Definitely support.
for sure, the comic book, the NFT, the album,
Everything.
Guys, you can stream the album, sure, but if you want to support, independent artists, you
do.
You buy it. You buy the album.
Magnificent Day for Exorcism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my lightning round questions. We started this show when WandaVision started. What is your favorite Marvel show?
From the Disney run, or just shows in general?
Just in general.
I would have to give it to right now.
Yeah.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier joint. Yeah.
We knew you were gonna go there. We covered that on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
We broke down every episode. We're gonna do the same thing for Loki. So from the whole Falcon, Black Man, Captain America, what stood out from you from that series? Anything? And what's the nerdiest thing that you kind of picked up from that series?
And I thought they did a good job at how they implemented the struggle in there. I thought they're also doing a good job at Falcon is not, Tony Stark. So his sister is trying to keep the family boat, and like real human ass problems that you would struggle with if, you were a superhero and you're not a Omega level,
right?
Superhero. It's just like,
go back to the hood.
Yo, my homies call me when they in beef and shit. They be like, "Yo, man,
Yo, Black.
I owe these dudes money and shit." Regular ass shit. Yeah.
Sure. If you were to be able, I'm gonna plug you right now. I got some connections over at with Kevin Feige and them. If you were to be in a Marvel movie, what character? I have one in my head already. What character would you want to be that hasn't been seen yet?
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I got one in my head.
That's pretty ill. Damn. Hasn't been seen yet.
And if you want to, you can go X-Men because they technically haven't been seen yet. So
That's serious.
It's a hard one.
That's
yeah.
Tough.
Let me tell you what mine is for you, and it's from one of my favorite songs of all time. It's a little ditty known as "Metal Things," where you say, "With my axe like Taraxis, practice allows me to receive information like faxes." So when the Fantastic Four come, you know what I'm saying, and you can play Tarax. Herald of Galactus.
That's hilarious.
There you go. That's it right there.
Got it.
I have to agree with you.
Thank you.
Terax. Yeah. Nice.
Now another lightning round question. Are you aware of the Wakanda Forever announcement? How we're gonna have the sequel being a Wakanda Forever kind of concept. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that. Nah.
Okay. So I'm dropping that on you now. Wakanda, the sequel for Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, is gonna be a Wakanda Forever film. And Okoye actually, they just dropped the news that she's gonna probably have her own little background
series
story
or something too. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's dope.
how what are your thoughts about the whole Chadwick Boseman legacy? What do you feel they should do with the character? Like, do you have any thoughts about kind of where you would want Black Panther to go?
Man, I definitely think they should continue it. A lot of people were like they should leave it alone and not have a replacement. But I really, it's such an important character.
Yeah.
I would really like to see more of it and them push it and more fighting scenes, more fights.
Word. Yeah, I think that it was a knee-jerk reaction for them to say, we're not going to continue this character. We're going to, continue the franchise in a different way. But like you said, the character is too important. I think I was saying last week how, they didn't end Superman when Christopher Reeves died. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason to stop this character that has this momentum that means so much to, little brown boys and girls, and to
Absolutely.
us older boys and girls as well.
Right. Forget them kids.
My daughter, she runs around here doing Wakanda Forever. So
What's B4?
Black Panther. Wakanda forever.
Oh my gosh, my heart is full right now.
that's right, Lola. So
Exactly.
what you got? Any more lightning round questions?
Well, the only other Black character that I can see Pharoahe Monch actually on the soundtrack for is Blade, bro. We got to get you on this Mahershala Ali Blade soundtrack.
That would be kind
on
of
the MC. Are you kidding me?
I think we need you on that soundtrack.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You need to be all over that soundtrack, Pharoahe.
Yeah.
That's something that I know that as Black fans, it's been quiet now because nothing's been happening. But when that erupts, a rated R bloody black vampire played by Mahershala Ali, I think it's gonna be a real banger.
Yeah, man. That's funny you say that. He really likes the album. He was telling me.
Yo.
So I'm gonna get out of this interview and go right in his DMs. Like, yo man.
They was just telling me.
Yo, Aiight So Boom, you heard it here. This is where it happened. I'm telling you, Pharoahe, you'd be perfect for that.
Another question I have for you. I'm right now, since we're at a little bit of a drought with the Marvel stuff. I'm not watching MODOK. Sorry. I
watched it.
Yeah. Do you like it?
It wasn't funny, but I watched it. If you're like a nerdy Marvel fan, they had like old school cameos. Like, it's one of those things.
I'll watch it. Right now I'm watching Shadow and Bone.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good show. Pharoahe, what nerdy or
what are you watching?
What are you watching right now?
I'm watching this HBO show called Primal.
Yes, the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Animated, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
So sick. I recommend that to everybody watching right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy raw, it's crazy graphic.
Yeah.
Caveman, it's no like spoken word, he's just growling and through the whole thing, but the animation is dope and the stories are really, really, really good. Yeah. And they're like 25 minutes each story. So you kind of run through them kind of like the Mandalorian, like it's just like they get straight to the action, boom, 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 boom. It's really, really dope. Yeah.
Of your toy collection, what's your favorite?
These Mezco Wolverines.
Yeah.
On which there's 6 of them, would have to be the favorite. Nice. But I love Legends, man. Like as you can see, and yeah, I'm gonna need therapy, man. I gotta stop this shit at some point.
I think that is the therapy, brother.
I know the feeling, man. I spend way too much money on toys that I don't play with. Right? They just sit there.
Exactly.
Well, Pharoahe, it was amazing having you here. We definitely appreciate the time. Everybody, make sure you go out and listen to Buy the album. Did you tell people where to purchase the NFTs?
The NFTs could be purchased on channel13.com. Check Pharoahe Monch for the spelling. It's got the 1 and the 3 in it. But it's channel13.com. You can go to my IG page, Pharoahe Monch, on all platforms and get to channel13.com because it's on all my platforms and all my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that. So through there, you can get to the NFTs right now. And Pharoahe Monch on all platforms and Channel 13. Please for all that is holy,
Yeah.
follow Channel 13 on Instagram and follow us on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Shout out
What
to
was
Darude Jones.
the accolade that you said they had given him?
NPR had labeled you. I actually would have to read it verbatim because
It's pretty special.
NPR deemed you probably technically the greatest rap virtuoso living on the planet right now.
I'd have to agree.
Ouch. And of course, I definitely wholeheartedly agree. But to have that kind of accommodation, that kind of recognition right now, we're gonna give you your roses right now, brother. Especially as a Queens MC, I'm extra proud. You know, you're one of the greats. You're one of the greatest that ever did it.
I liked you better once you moved to Brooklyn. But no.
Listen, I'm in Brooklyn too, man. Queens got to grow up.
I'm totally kidding. But
now we definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys, man, and through all these runs and interviews I've been doing, I've been accepting all the flowers. Usually I'm like, no flowers. I'm like, yeah, more flowers. Nah, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate NPR for the love, and of course there are, the list runs amazingly deep in my influences and people in general. But I'm glad that they showed me love like that, and I'm excited that they allowed us to be on the Tiny Desk and all that. So it's amazing.
That was awesome.
That was amazing, and I love Tiny Desk. Shout out to that room. Yeah, man.
So we're gonna get out of here, guys. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications. Make sure you leave a comment if you like what you see.
Of course. And the links for his projects will be in the chat, so you'll be able to get it in the profile in the video.
Yeah, man. Once again, I am LR Blitzkrieg.
I am the MarXman.
Thank you to the super dope, special, wonderful Pharoahe Monch. We appreciate you being here. And
yes, sir,
we
man.
appreciate you, audience. This has been a special edition of
Aiight So Boom.